Imagine driving while scrolling through TikTok. Dangerous, right? Now picture that risk multiplied by massive ships moving at high speeds. That's why Rule 5 of the COLREGS exists. Over 90% of maritime collisions are caused by failing to keep a proper lookout. This rule is simple. Always pay attention to your surroundings, use every tool available, and never get complacent. In this video, we'll break down Rule 5 in plain English, explore real-world scenarios, and highlight common mistakes Gen Z maritime students make. Let's dive in and see why this rule is the backbone of safe navigation at sea. Rule 5 states, every vessel shall at all times maintain a proper lookout by sight and hearing as well as by all available means appropriate in the prevailing circumstances and conditions so as to make a full appraisal of the situation and of the risk of collision. It's just 43 words, but every one is crucial. We'll break down each part to help you understand what's required and why it matters. Let's start with the phrase, every vessel. Rule 5 applies to every vessel, no exceptions. Whether it's a giant cargo ship, a luxury yacht, a fishing boat, a sailboat, or even a jet ski, if it floats and moves, it must keep a lookout. Many students mistakenly believe small boats are exempt, but that's simply not true. The law is clear, size doesn't matter. If you're on the water, you're responsible for maintaining a lookout. This universal application is what keeps everyone safe, regardless of vessel type or size. Phrase shall at all times means exactly that. Every second your vessel is afloat, you must maintain a lookout. Day or night, clear skies or dense fog, anchored or moving, the rule applies. Many students think they can relax in open ocean or during breaks, but that's when complacency leads to disaster. The law uses shall, meaning it's a command, not a suggestion. You can't take a lookout break any more than you can take a breathing break. Stay alert always. Maintaining a proper lookout isn't just about glancing around. It means actively, continuously, and systematically watching everything around your vessel. You need 360-degree awareness. Ships can approach from any direction. Use a scanning pattern, stay vigilant, and interpret what you see. It's not enough to spot a ship, you must understand its type, direction, and if it poses a risk. Distractions like phones or daydreaming are dangerous. Remember, the person steering often can't serve as the lookout. Dedicated attention is needed. 2019, a cargo ship collided with a fishing vessel because the officer on watch was distracted by his phone for 15 minutes. The fishing vessel was clearly visible, but the officer wasn't looking. The result, millions in damages, environmental harm, and criminal charges. This real-world example shows how quickly things can go wrong when you're not paying attention. Distractions are a leading cause of maritime accidents, and Rule 5 exists to prevent exactly this kind of tragedy. Rule 5 requires you to use your eyes and ears. Constantly scan the horizon with your eyes, use binoculars for distant objects, and look for navigation lights at night. Listen for fog signals, engine sounds, and distress calls. In fog, sound can warn you of danger before you see it. Technology is helpful, but your senses are irreplaceable. Many students undervalue this, thinking radar is enough, but radar has blind spots. Your eyes and ears are your first line of defense. Visibility is restricted. A special lookout is stationed as far forward as possible. This person uses sound-powered phones to communicate with the bridge and focuses on both sight and sound. Ship's bells may be used to signal sightings. In fog, hearing becomes just as important as seeing. This extra vigilance is crucial for safety. Students often forget that technology can't replace human senses, especially in challenging conditions like fog. Rule 5 says to use all available means, not just your senses but every tool you have. This includes radar, AIS, VTS, VHF radio, echo sounders, GPS, binoculars, CCTV cameras, and night vision goggles. Each tool has strengths and weaknesses. Radar can miss small or non-metallic objects, AIS can be turned off, and cameras have blind spots. Technology supplements your lookout but never replaces it. Always verify what you see on screens with your own eyes and ears. radar is your primary electronic lookout tool, especially in darkness or fog. It can detect vessels and obstacles, but it has limitations, blind spots, difficulty with small or non-metallic objects, and the need for active monitoring. Relying solely on radar is a common mistake. Courts have ruled that crews who ignored visual and auditory lookout in favor of radar alone were at fault in collisions. Always use radar as a supplement, not a substitute for your senses. AIS Automatic Identification System shows information about other vessels, name, course, speed, and destination. VTS Vessel Traffic Service acts like air traffic control for ships, especially in busy harbors. Both are valuable but not foolproof. Not all vessels have AIS, and VTS coverage varies. Use these systems to enhance your awareness, but always confirm visually. Over-reliance on technology can lead to missed hazards and dangerous situations. VHF radio lets you hear other vessels, positions, and Coast Guard warnings. Echo sounders warn of shallow water or obstacles. GPS and electronic charts confirm your position and show hazards. Binoculars help identify distant vessels, and CCTV or night vision can cover blind spots. Each tool adds a layer of safety, but none replace the need for a vigilant lookout. Use every tool, but always keep your senses engaged. Rule 5 requires you to adapt your lookout to the situation. In open ocean with clear weather, regular scanning and radar checks may be enough. In coastal waters or heavy traffic, increase vigilance and use all available tools. In fog or restricted visibility, post extra lookouts and use sound signals. At night, preserve night vision and rely more on navigation lights and radar. The key is to adjust your approach based on the prevailing circumstances. Students think appropriate means lets them skip certain lookout elements. For example, they might turn off radar in clear weather or ignore visual lookout in fog. This is a dangerous misunderstanding. Appropriate means you add extra measures when needed, not eliminate basics. Even in clear weather, radar might detect something before you see it. In fog, you need every tool and extra vigilance. Never cut corners, safety depends on thoroughness. Proper lookout isn't just about spotting something, it's about understanding what you see. Full appraisal means detecting, identifying, and assessing the risk. You need to know what type of vessel you see, its position, movement, course, speed, and whether it poses a collision risk. Analyze trends. Is the bearing constant and range decreasing? That's a classic collision warning. Don't just observe, interpret, and predict. This active process is what keeps you and others safe. Ultimate goal of Rule 5 is to understand your situation and the risk of collision. This means being aware of all vessels, whether sea, state, water depth, traffic patterns, and your own vessel's status. The golden rule: if another vessel maintains a constant bearing but is getting closer, you're on a collision course. Assess every situation, not just head-on encounters. Crossing and overtaking can also be dangerous. Stay alert to all possibility. Over 90% of maritime collisions involve failure to maintain a proper lookout. Human error accounts for up to 96% of marine casualties. Most collisions happen in clear weather, not fog, because crews become complacent. Maritime navigation can be boring, but the moment you zone out is when danger appears. Real-world disasters like the Ever Given grounding and the USS Fitzgerald collision show that human vigilance is irreplaceable. Rule 5 is the foundation of safe navigation. Small vessels, the captain or helmsman sometimes claims to be both the lookout and the person steering. Legally, this is only acceptable if the steering position offers a full 360-degree view and conditions are ideal. In practice, steering distracts from proper lookout duties. In narrow channels, fog, or heavy traffic, a dedicated lookout is mandatory. The strict interpretation: lookout duties should not be combined with other tasks that interfere with vigilance. In light fog, you might be tempted to rely solely on radar. But if you stop looking out the windows and just watch the radar screen, you're violating Rule 5. Radar is supplementary. Visual and auditory lookout remain essential even when radar is available. If a collision occurs, courts will presume you're at fault if you relied only on radar. Always combine technology with human vigilance for true safety. Picture yourself as officer of the watch at night, alone on the bridge, no traffic in sight. You pull out your phone for a quick scroll. In those 10 minutes, your ship travels several miles without proper lookout. This is a clear Rule 5 violation. Small vessels, debris, or sudden weather changes can appear at any time. Officers caught doing this have faced criminal charges and lost their licenses. Stay focused, lives depend on it. Even when your ship is at anchor, Rule 5 applies. Many students think anchor watch is a time to relax or nap, but that's a mistake. Other vessels might drag anchor toward you, your own vessel could move, or emergencies could develop. Many collisions occur in anchorages because lookouts weren't maintained. Stay vigilant, even when you think nothing is happening. With AIS, radar, and GPS, it's easy to think you don't need to look out the window. But technology can fail. AIS can be off, radar can miss small boats, and GPS can lose signal. Visual lookout lets you see navigation lights, emergency signals, and real-time situations. Technology supplements your senses but never replaces them. Your eyes are still the most reliable sensors you have. Some students think lookout means a person on the bow with binoculars, like in old movies. In reality, lookout refers to the function, not a specific person or position. The officer of the watch is responsible for ensuring lookout is maintained, whether by themselves, a dedicated lookout, or a combination. The key is that someone is always actively monitoring the surroundings, and the OOW manages the process. Biggest enemy at sea is boredom, leading to complacency. Hours of empty ocean can lull you into a false sense of security, but danger can appear at any moment. Stay engaged by using systematic scanning patterns, taking short mental breaks without leaving your post, and always being ready to report anything unusual. Your vigilance is the last line of defense against disaster. Don't just glance around randomly. Develop a scanning pattern, sweep the horizon left to right, then check closer waters right to left, then check your instruments and repeat. This rhythm helps you stay alert and ensures you don't miss anything. Make it a habit. Systematic scanning is a proven way to maintain effective lookout and prevent accidents. During long watches, your alertness can drop. Take short mental breaks, stand up, stretch, splash cold water on your face, but never leave your post or stop scanning. If the situation becomes complex, don't hesitate to call for help or request additional lookout assistance. Professional seamanship means knowing your limits and acting before fatigue leads to mistakes. Use every tool available: radar, AIS, GPS, but always verify with your eyes and ears. Technology can fail, but humans have intuition and adaptability. If you see something unusual, report it immediately. Better to overreport than miss a potential hazard. Remember, technology is a supplement, not a replacement for your own vigilance. On night watch, avoid white light from phone screens or instruments. Use red light mode if you must check something. It takes 30-45 minutes to regain night vision after exposure to bright light. Preserving your night vision is essential for spotting navigation lights, hazards, and other vessels in the dark. Small details can make a big difference in safety. Violating Rule 5 isn't just a technicality, it has real-world consequences. Officers found negligent can face criminal charges, civil lawsuits, and loss of license. Insurance may not cover damages if a Rule 5 violation is proven. In maritime law, if you break a collision regulation and a collision occurs, you're presumed at fault unless you can prove otherwise. Your career and reputation depend on maintaining proper lookout. Rule 5 is the foundation for many other COLREGS rules. You can't determine safe speed Rule 6, assess risk of collision Rule 7, or take action to avoid collision Rule 8 without first maintaining a proper lookout. In restricted visibility Rule 19, lookout becomes even more critical. If you're not doing Rule 5 correctly, you're likely violating several other rules as well. It's that fundamental to maritime safety. As a Gen Z mariner, you'll work with advanced technology, but the human element remains critical. Autonomous ships still need vigilant humans as fail-safes. Employers value officers who take safety seriously. Proper lookout prevents environmental disasters and protects your legal standing. Most importantly, it's about personal integrity, respecting the lives and property in your care. Mastering Rule 5 sets you apart and keeps everyone safe. Rule 5 is short but powerful. It's simple, pay attention, but requires constant discipline. Every time you stand watch, remember you are the last line of defense against collision. Your eyes, ears, and judgment are what keep everyone safe. Technology can fail, but your vigilance saves lives. Keep a proper lookout by sight, by hearing, and by all available means at all times. No exceptions. The safety of your ship and everyone around you depends on it.